what I have here is a cadet xt1. Could be an xt2, could be a couple other things, but the whole start of this problem was the push button start, which was faulty, but there was multiple things happening with that. So technically you have to have the brake in and you have to sit on the seat, and there's a seat switch. And then once the brake's on, you push the button and it comes up with the prompts. But our screen didn't do that. So it was weak, but it didn't come in all the time. So there's a short internally. But I think what causes that short is if you flip it up, if you guys get on your screen and it's kind of faint or not that bright, either you have a starting problem or an intermittent problem, you might want to come in here and take a look. At this. So they give you a fuse from the factory holder that's really thin wire, and it doesn't make good connection, so your power voltage that goes from here, the solenoid, back up to here is not great enough. So I took a jumper wire from the battery and ran it up to this. That red and white wire is your power wire for the unit. And then I realized that I had power, good power, so I just replaced this fuse box. You can get in Amazon or whatever, online, or even at the Advanced Auto. And then I just tied it in line to the battery terminal, which was already there, so I just cut it and respliced it in. So once I got that figured out, it would crank, turn over, but there would be no spark. So then I went up here, tested all the wires down in here, tested the connectors for the voltage. There was really no specs. Cub Cadet wanted me to replace the harness, the unit, and the coil, and the pickup. So what I actually ended up doing was just the module, that module, and the coil. And what led me to the coil was I tested, so there's your pickup. So it spins. It's kind of like the coils on the other tractors, but that's a pickup. It senses this sensor, so every time it goes around. So the wire that is on there is blue and white. I disconnected the wire for this, put one of the terminals for the multimeter on ohms on the wire for this, and I touched one to ground, and then I just spun this around. And then when I spun it around and it hit the connector there, it would beep. That's how you know the pickup's working. So I isolated to the coil, and then I just replaced the coil, which was just 2 bolts, slides up, and then there's an 8mm bolt underneath that. You slide that off, put the new one on, and that was it. And then I fired it, tested it, and there was spark. So this was kind of one of those long troubleshooting jobs because the wiring was a nightmare, and I didn't really, getting into it, I didn't have any specs on the unit. But anyway, hopefully this helps somebody out there. All right, thanks for watching.